and acknowledgement for courage in waiting and reflection time. Each week, we take the time to acknowledge that the sacred land upon which all of us abide is unceded territory that was faithfully stewarded by the indigenous people who lived here long before any of us. In this part of the Bay Area, we reside and work and live out our mission on the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. But today we want to take the time to acknowledge that while our nation celebrates its historical mythology, told in the traditional story of Thanksgiving, for many indigenous people, this day represents a day of mourning. There are many places where one can discover the truer account of what occurred for the members of the Wampanoag tribe. Annually, since 1969, many Bay Area indigenous people have gathered at sunrise on Alcatraz Island to occupy the territory that belongs to them and their successors, and to observe Thanksgiving. Another man, Sean Sherman, founder and CEO of the Sioux, that's S-I-O-U-X Chef, and the author of the Sioux Chef's Indigenous Kitchen, may also have complicated and painful feelings about the holiday, but is offering up new ways to observe it. He said the following in a piece for Time magazine. The thing is, we do not need the poisonous Pilgrims and Indians narrative. We do not need that illusion of past unity to actually unite people today. Instead, we can focus simply on the values that apply to everybody: togetherness, generosity, and gratitude. And we can make the day about what everyone wants to talk and think about anyway: the food. People may not realize it, but what every person in this country shares, and the very history of this nation, has been in front of us the whole time. Most of our Thanksgiving recipes are made with indigenous food: turkey, corn, beans, pumpkins, maple, wild rice, and the like. We should embrace this. And beyond this holiday and this designated month to observe Native American heritage, there are actions we can take to honor and enhance the lives of indigenous people throughout our nations, to honor and assist those who are non-matriating their lands, to honor the water and all of our environment, and to give attention to missing and murdered indigenous women and more. As we acknowledge the land, let us move beyond words to actions and give life and enable all people to thrive. I hope and amen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I love it. You all are sitting close to keep each other warm. I want to give a big thanks to Joseph and to Alex and to Matt, who have worked so diligently today to bring a bit of warmth, a bit more warmth into the space. And I certainly am so delighted to welcome those online, to welcome our very special guest, Destiny Muhammad, and her husband, Chriswell. You have already begun to experience bathing in the beautiful sounds of the harp, and so we hope that you will enjoy that. Today's service, I wanted to start with the question and the thought from the prophet Habakkuk, and you have all the readings that we're drawing from with you today. The prophecy that Habakkuk the prophet received: "How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen? Or cry out to you violence, but you do not save? Why do you make us look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrongdoing? Destruction and violence are before us. There is strife and conflict abounds. And therefore the law is paralyzed and justice never seems to prevail. The wicked hem in the righteous, so that justice is perverted. And I invite you to read chapters 1 and 2. The first answer that God gives is not really a very satisfying one. And so it is a true wrestling with this question. And today, as we enter the season of Advent waiting, according to the Christian liturgical calendar, we could also find ourselves like the prophet Habakkuk asking the question, how long, O Lord, how long? When justice seems far away and the vulnerable seem easy prey to the powerful and policies and practices that dehumanize, how can we take courage and have hope in such a time as this? So our service today calls us not to rush to action, but to take the time to rest in reflection, meditation, and prayer so that we may discern what we are called to do. We'll tell you a little bit more, but we'll be moving through stations of contemplation, and we are going to be accompanied in our sojourn by the melodious sounds of our dear guest, Destiny Muhammad. Many of you have a copy of her bio. She's an exquisite Bay Area artist and sound sculptress, and you can read her various accolades, but I want to say that I'm so grateful for the friendship of both Destiny and Chriswell, and that they consented to come and be with us today. She has come to the City of Refuge, and you can find her all around. You should start to follow her. In fact, I think folks on Instagram are following along. So follow the sound sculptress, and please join me in giving a hearty welcome to Destiny Muhammad.
This first reading is from Black Liturgies by Cole Arthur Riley, Prayers, Poems, and Meditations for Staying Human. It's called Silent God. There are seasons when your silence feels like a cruel act of abandonment. Silent God, we mistakenly equate nearness with noise. Show us a different kind of divine intimacy. A silence born not of neglect, but of safety and rest. In a world that weaponizes silence against the vulnerable, it is difficult to believe in its virtue. This Advent, allow us to ask the question of whose voice is being centered and whose is missing. Let those whose voices historically have taken up far too much space fall quiet in this season, in a silence of solidarity. Grant the marginalized the agency to choose their silences. Not a forced silencing, but a sacred rest and defiance in a world whose noise does not relent. If we're silent, let it be the quiet of Mary, who kept her story close, allowing a small but sacred number to bear witness to her cosmic unfolding. If we're silent, let it be the silence of the womb, a warmth we can finally rest in. Amen.
We never end, we only begin. Rituals of wisdom. We have 4 reflection stations. We are going to, those of you who are in this space, you will see on your readings page, you can begin at whichever station you would like. Those of you who are remote will be guided through stations in this order: reflection and waiting and breathing prayer, reflection and lament, reflection and gratitude, and reflection and courage, hope, and action. So at this front table, this is the one in waiting and breathing prayer. You have in your readings a reading called God of the Long Wait. So we invite you at that table to read that, and then to share something that you may be long awaiting, something that seems like it is so far and so long in coming. Then we have a station of lament behind me, which has a bowl of water and salt, and we invite you at that table to take a pinch of salt, put it in the water, mix it as our tears, and to write on the muslin strips something that you are lamenting for, something that you're praying for, and leave those there. Then behind me is the reflection and gratitude journey with the labyrinth. You may either choose to walk the labyrinth, or we have a finger labyrinth that you can trace, and those of you who are online have the image of the labyrinth that you can also trace with your cursor. And then we invite you to write something for which you're grateful about your journey companions. And then the 4th station is back where Jeanette is. That is the station in reflection in courage, hope, and action. And so we invite you to think about what courageous action might you take to move toward the things that we may be waiting for, toward liberation. There is a reading that goes with Lament Station from In Flesh. You have that on your paper. And then Psalm 27, 13 through 14 goes with the courage and action. So as you move, you pick whichever station. At a certain time, I'll ring the sound bell, and Destiny will be accompanying us through this time. You may also just want to sit and listen to the music. We have some journals if you'd like that, but this is really a space for us to quiet down and be bathed in the spirit of the music. this world, what is fair? We look around and try to see what's inside and what would be. We need a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. It's that higher love. Dreaming God. Higher love. Down in the stars, in the skies above. We've got it. We're wasting time. I'll look inside my heart. Look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. In this world, what's fair? We look around and try to see what's inside. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. We need a higher love. It is a higher love I'm dreaming of. Bring me a higher love. We need a higher
Thank you. Before I begin, thank you so much to Destiny Mohammed for this beautiful music. Thank you so much. Well, one happy thing and one sad thing, but in the long view, not so sad. So the happy thing is I'm so glad to welcome my dear friend Ursula from Boston, who's with me this week. So Ursula and I were neighbors. We shared a door in our condo situation. And yes, there were many comings and goings. It was one of my sadnesses when I left Boston that I would, lose my close friendship and proximity with Ursula. But we've remained friends, and everybody knows I went to Boston recently. So I met her and I said, come to Thanksgiving. So she's here. So thank you for being here with me. And the sad thing that is not so sad in the long view is the transition of Professor Song Chuan Seng, who we know as C.S. Song. In 1991, when I arrived in the United States and I went to school, I was studying, just like so many of you, in a master's program. And one day somebody said to me, have you read any of C.S. Song's books? And I hadn't. The preparation that I had in India did not prepare me for the study of religion or theology formally. So I was an English literature major, so I had not come across this author. And somebody said to me, you need to go to PSR and meet C.S. Song. So then it took me 30 years to arrive to PSR. So, and I never met Professor Song, but just last week, President David and I signed a little plaque commemorating his 95th birthday. And Professor Song passed away today, which was yesterday. So it was yesterday, it was November 26th. It's November 26th for us today, but he passed away yesterday in Taiwan. So what was his contribution? We really continue his legacy here at PSR. So all the classes that we teach in the stackable curriculum, for example, like contextual thinking or theological thinking or spiritual formation, really can track back to his work. And one of the things that he talked about is Christianity in many ways came to Asia through colonialism. And we cannot simply, in Asia, accept Western epistemologies or philosophies or theologies uncritically. We have to contextualize them. And this phrase, which seems today to have been so evocative, he says we need an Asian theology coming from, quote, the womb of Asia, unquote. And today the word womb has arisen in so many ways. And in this season of Advent, and as we wait for the many babies to be born and babies who were born in our recent time here, this collective waiting for the coming of the ones that will inherit the earth. And it's our job to create structures of welcome and inclusion and acceptance. And that was Professor Song's great contribution to theology. I say that his passing is not that sad, because at 95, I can imagine a theologian of his stature saying, I'm ready now to return to the one that made me, which is all of our journeys. So in his memory, we think and thank and pray for him and his family, and especially for Thailand Seminary, with whom PSR has an association for a long time. Thanks.
So our benediction will actually come through our musician, but what I want to encourage you to do today, we'll leave things up if you still want to visit a station. Take the readings with you. Use it as a way to ground and settle yourself in uncertain times and in stressful times, and remember the music remember the chords that have been sown into our souls today. And take that with you, however you will be spending the rest of this week, with friends, with family, family of blood or family by choice, that in all things, as was said, we never end, we only begin. And that which keeps us and enables us to move in hope, or maybe I'll make this a personal statement, that which keeps me and enables me to move forward in hope is gratitude. To remember that every single day is a gift that wasn't promised to us, that everything that we have, every talent, every connection, every bit of impact that we have is a gift. So may we rest in gratitude when we feel anxious. Whenever you get a greeting from our dear sister, Destiny, she always starts it with Good Gratitude Day. So thank you again, Destiny, and we will allow you just to close us out with a selection of your choosing. And God bless you all.
It's an honor to serve you through sound. And with God's grace, we're going to do it again, all right? All right. As we move through this unthanksgiving, we live in a state of praise. There is still an everlasting entity that loves us unconditionally, even those who we feel are unlovable. Well, we know that presence and power of it is evoked in the spirit of each and every one of us. I invite you to unite with it and allow it to love you and guide you in a way that only you can understand. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Whatever you do, I'll be there. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Whatever you do, I'm gonna be right there. Wherever you go, I'm gonna